If you are anything like me, you love Love Island. It is one of my favorite shows, and I think it has single handedly revived appointment television. So, when we were younger, you used to have to watch shows at specific times during the day. Maybe Tuesday, 8 o'clock was when this show came out. And so, there was appointment television where if you wanted to watch a show, you did it at that point in time, and then that way you can discuss it the next day. That all changed when Netflix started releasing entire seasons of shows all at once for people to binge watch, and that's when binge watching culture became so prevalent and so popular. But I wanted to take a look at how Love Island has completely changed the game, yet again, back to making TV programming relevant, making it mainstream again. So, here are some of the main reasons why it does so well. So, one of the most important things is that it has near real time, I'm going to put slash high frequency delivery. So the way that Love Island is shot, just so you, for those of you who don't know, is that it's 6 weeks, and every single day there is a new episode, except for Wednesdays and Saturdays. And that episode that is released that day is from the last 24 hours of filming. And this goes on for 6 weeks straight. On one of the off days is when they don't film, and that's where people get a break because you can't just work 24/7 nonstop like that. But besides that, they are filming every day nonstop 24/7, besides when they eat. And so what happens is if you miss an episode, you can easily fall behind purely because of how high frequency it is. If you missed last night's episode, you got to rewatch last night's episode. You got to see last night's episode, right? And then you have to watch tonight's episode just to catch up. God forbid you miss 2 days, you're really behind. And so the high frequency nature of this is what makes it appointment television. You cannot miss, and so you have to get there. Not only that, but it was near real time. So what happened and what you're seeing literally just happened in the last 24 hours. And so, again, you don't want to miss that, especially with number 2, social media discourse. This is my favorite aspect of Love Island. Social media discourse. Discourse is just a big word for people talking about the show. So, after every episode, I love to run to my platform of choice was a group chat within a group, I guess, hashtag or a community group within Twitter, x.com. And so there, everyone would post their thoughts, they would post funny memes, they would post snippets or clips of things that are going on, and everyone would have different perspectives and different takes on what's going on. And some people are just really funny and post really funny stuff. And then even after that, I would go to Twitter and I would swipe through, and my feed would give me regular creators who were posting about the show and about what their takes are and what they saw and what they noticed and things I didn't notice. And so those were my 2 main places. My third place after that was at work the next day when I got to talk to people about the show, what they thought, who they like, who they don't like, what they think about the new Bombshell. And so the discourse around Love Island and the buffoonery that you see in there in terms of how people move when dating and all of that stuff is the best part about the show, in my opinion. And what makes the high frequency so important about that is if you miss an episode that night, you don't get to participate in the discourse that night, and you don't get to participate in the discourse the next day. So this 1-2 combo is really already what made appointment television back into the mainstream by Love Island. 3 is something, again, that you don't get to participate in if you miss it, which is going to be voting. So I don't usually vote, to be honest. If I feel really strongly, I will. I think part of the problem is that I think that producers have a hand in choosing what they want to happen anyway. And so I'm not sure if my voting actually does anything. But there are times I voted. And so again, it's open for a small window of time after the episode. And so if you miss it, you don't get to participate. So this is just great for audience engagement. This is great for audience influence, right? I have a say on what happens. And so you want to be there on time. And so these 3 aspects are, again, things that you can even apply to your own businesses. A lot of businesses need marketing. Marketing is just content. It's media. The same way a show is just content. It's just media. People's posting online in order to promote their businesses is just content. It's media. You're just trying to grab attention. So you can implement these same things where you're going to obviously be near real time, have frequent delivery, have the content you post be real. You can have discourse around it, so be polarizing. That way people talk about what you're saying, be contrarian. And so I think this last part is really something that people don't really talk about, but is one of the main reasons why the show is so influential and why people are so sat in their seats in order to watch it, which is the transformation of people's lives. Transformation of, I'm going to put ordinary, not in a bad way, but just like they're normal people like you and me. ordinary people's lives. The amount of exposure you get on the show is life-changing. People go on to have incredible careers like Olandria, who became a model and an influencer and has done so well. Even Huda, who has been controversial, I think got paid $2 million to be in an NFL commercial. That only happened because she was on the show. Olandria's boyfriend, Nick, went on to be a DJ, and people go to see his DJ shows because they know him from the show. The same thing I'm sure is going to happen with Bryce. And so, from season 8, so the transformation and who you vote for and who you ride hard for and who you decide to follow, the amount of followers people get just from the show is already what makes them successful and changes their lives forever. And so that's a huge part of who we support and ride hard for. And by being there, tuned in every day, this is how you not develop a relationship, because relationships are two ways, but how you, I'm going to say, fall in love with someone, right? Trinity from season 8 was like, beginning to end, all around great, loving, lovable person, likable to the max, loved her outfits, loved her attitude, everything about her. So I supported that and I said, wow, I want to see this person be successful. They are awesome. They're so wholesome, like that. And so this is a big part. And I think a lot of this happens, and what makes Mr. Beast on YouTube, his videos so successful, is this transformation. He takes ordinary people and changes their lives, or at least gives them the opportunity to completely change their lives by way of competitions. And so they'll do these heinous, crazy, weird, won't see anywhere else, cannot mimic or cannot even replicate this competitions, and for ordinary people, and their lives will be completely changed just from the amount of money that they get. And then they also get, millions of views of exposure. So it's the same exact premise between the two. And Mr. Beast is literally the most successful YouTuber in history, and he has over 500 million with a B followers on his channel. And so you see, these are the same tenets that work. Like, does he have voting? No, but his stuff is very high frequency. He's always posting. Social media discourse in the comments, you get to see, we were voting for Juan. I just watched one of his videos because he was such a good guy, which is the same thing of someone's life transformed before your very eyes. So altogether, these are the 4 tenets that I think that really make Love Island single-handedly make appointment television a thing again, right? It made TV programming a thing again, and I love it. And so, yeah, I would say just apply these 4 things to your business too. If you have content, if you can create content with your business where you transform someone's life, people are always going to be interested in seeing that, because it's like a fairy tale. It's like a princess fairy tale where you take the ordinary person off the street and all of a sudden, after this experience, they're a whole new person. That stuff is always beautiful to watch, whether it's with weight and making someone lose weight, whether it's with beauty, that's why I think beauty products do so well and beauty content does so well, it's a transformation, or whether it's with money, where they go through some sort of competition show in order to do that and then they get the money. So yeah, how can you apply to this to your business? Like I said, a show is just a show, it's content. So use these same tenets within your organic content, within the content that you post, and you will be able to get a huge platform for your own business to drive sales. If you want to learn all about the very best in business, their tried and true and proven methods of how they, succeed in business, go to demilocourses.com. Over there, I literally break down and have blueprints of almost all the successful people that you know of, because I start with the famous people first in business, as well as my own proven track records of how I do things and run my business. It's super valuable. It's just a simple subscription. You get access to all the courses on there possible. So it's not like you're paying $300 for a course. You literally just pay $49 and you get access to all the courses. And other than that, I will catch you guys on the next upload. Let me know in the comments below what you feel about Love Island, whether or not you love it, and whether or not you love what it does for society, because I definitely do.